the coldest February on record in Ontario, but home buyers still ventured out. They made a lot of deals in Toronto. In fact, they pushed the price of a detached home in Canada's largest city to the highest ever, above the $1 million mark. Our business host, Jeannie Lee, is here with more of all of these numbers. First off, this what seems to be a non-stop frenzy. How can it be explained?
It does seem to defy logic, and we try to explain it every month, but you know, at some point you just have to throw up your hands. Because in Toronto, the market really has been rising pretty much since late 1996, so for 18 long years now, and skeptics have been saying anytime now the market has to stabilize, maybe even fall. But just take a look at the fresh numbers from the Toronto Real Estate Board out this morning. In the Greater Toronto Area, sales last month rose 11%, in fact more than 11% from a year earlier. And the average price of any type of home, we're talking about all the homes in the Greater Toronto Area, so in the city and in the suburbs, almost $600,000, up about 8%. And that was driven by the soaring price of a detached Toronto house, which has now hit $1,040,000. And we have to ask why. So what was new in February? The only thing I could think of was the fact that interest rates were cut by the Bank of Canada in late January. So maybe some people, you know, that didn't necessarily translate into lower mortgage rates across the board, but people are thinking, hey, maybe rates will keep on falling and it's time to jump in again. And the other thing is the lower price of oil has really driven the dollar down, and that's meant a better economy in the export-driven economy of Ontario. And again, maybe the effects haven't been seen yet, but some people are thinking this is a good time to buy. So that may be what we're seeing here.
Are you seeing the similar kind of move in other big cities that have reported their February numbers?
Well, we certainly got a surprise in Vancouver as well, because there you think, who can afford to buy a house? And yet, last month, there were 66% more sales than just the month before, again, from January when there was that rate cut. So if you look year over year in Vancouver, here's what we saw. Sales up 21% last month compared to a year earlier, and the average detached home in Vancouver is now $1.4 million. And I have to say that listings were down about 11%, so less choice tends to drive up prices. Calgary, though, here's what isn't a surprise. Sales were down 34% last month, and the average price is starting to slip by $20,000 roughly. And there, listings up 107%. So twice as many listings out there in the market because, of course, oil prices, less spending by the companies, job cuts, and people are feeling insecure.